And now, straight from the horse's mouth, our Neil Young News Report.
Smell the horse on this one.
With this week's update from thrasherswheat.org, here's Thrasher.
Hey, Thrasher here with your Neil Young news for the week. We've got lots and lots of news on the Neil Young front. Just keeps coming. It's all good. Big story that we started off with over the past week. Neil Young and Crazy Horse headlined a free concert in New York's Central Park, and it was outstanding. If you got to check out the webcast or the broadcast, or you were there in person, you know that what we heard from Crazy Horse there was some of the new and some of the old, and lots of highlights. We got some of the older songs like "Love and Only Love" and "Powderfinger," and we got some of the new material from the upcoming Psychedelic Pill album, "Walk Like a Giant." What can we say? Totally epic. More than 20 minutes. Feedback is definitely back. The concert wrapped up with an all-star performance of "Rocking in the Free World," which featured the Foo Fighters and the Black Keys and all the other bands for the night, and that was definitely a fine way to end the night in Central Park. Some of the other things that went on this week in New York City, Neil got a chance to stop by the David Letterman show and talk about some of his favorite topics, trains and cars and so forth. Also spent quite a bit of time talking about his new project regarding the Pono sound system, and he had a prototype with him that he showed David. And this Pono sound that is all about the 192 kilohertz, 24-bit quality sound that's been pushing for a long time now. The other news is the book is out. His memoir, Waging Heavy Beats, came out this week, and lots of reviews, lots of coverage of that. Putting some of that over on the blog, Thrashers Wheat. One of the ones you might want to check out is the interview by Terry Gross from Fresh Air. That was a good interview. We're linked over to that. And lastly, the big news is that the tour, second leg of the Crazy Horse tour, has opened, starting off in Canada, kicked off in Windsor, Ontario. So we've got a spoiler alert coming here. If you've got tickets to the show or don't want to be too spoiled by this, you might want to just turn the sound down just for a moment or two. But I guess the initial reports that have been coming out of the tour have been that what we're seeing here seems to be a sort of a Rust Never Sleeps revisited tour. We're seeing a lot of the props that we saw on the original Rust Never Sleeps tour, and some of the giant Fender amps. And it seems as if it's been labeled the Alchemy Tour, which is a little bit of a change from the past, present, and future tour that it had been labeled at in the first leg. But also on Neil Young's site, neilyoung.com, he's put up a very interesting little note, and I'll just go ahead and read to you what that note says. It's titled A Rust Trilogy. And it starts off by saying, the third episode of a Rust trilogy, which began with Rust Never Sleeps in 1978 and continued with Weld in 1990, now concludes with Alchemy in 2012. Things have changed, yet they stay the same. Alchemy, like Rust and Weld, finds the boys at another stage of life's journey. Time has taken its toll, yet the spirit seems unstoppable. And we'll just conclude that by saying that the early tour reports of the band, the set, the songs, everything. I would just categorize it as probably ecstatic. A lot of people, never got to see the original Rust Never Sleeps tour. They never saw the Weld tour. Well, if you missed those, here's your chance. This is the final installment of the Rust trilogy, and really hope everyone gets a chance to see some of the tour. As for us, well, we're off to the Cleveland and Pittsburgh shows this weekend, so we are quite stoked. So we'll wrap up with that. Thrasher trying to separate lots of wheat from not too much chaff lately. So you guys keep on rocking. See you next week.